Greetings, Minecrafters, and welcome to another Minecraft episode. My name is Kimberly Quinn, and I'm pretty excited to talk to you, way excited to talk to you about Savoring 2023. And I will tell you, I love our country so much. And that said, we are gerbils on crack flying around all over the place. The pandemic helped a little bit with that, and hopefully we learned something about slowing it down a little bit. But here's the thing, savoring is just such a cool word. It's such a cool idea. Savoring, I got little notes here. I wrote a Psychology Today article about this a long time ago. It's just like a little refresher. Savoring is something I'm very into. Savoring is mindfulness, which I'm very into, which means being present in the moment. Right here, right now, as if your life depended on it, right? In the moment. You don't need to sit in lotus position, eating yogurt in a cave, like somewhere over in Nepal or something. No, you don't have to. It's about being in the moment right now. You could be doing the dishes. You could be having a conversation. Hopefully you're mindful in the conversation. Well, savoring is mindfulness amped up. It's about being in the moment and being filled up and over the top with gratitude. So savoring is mindfulness amped up, and it sort of rolls gratitude right into the mix. Gratitude for simply being alive. So all five senses are basically turned on and taking in every detail of whatever you're experiencing right now. Whether that's the woods where I just came from, a little G, 2 hours shoe back there, no people, lots of deer tracks, so good. Or whether you're savoring, a hot cup of tea or hot chocolate. So it's about being in the zone, and savoring is the precursor to flow. So if you know about flow, cognitive flow, that is the work of Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, and it's about being in the zone. Let me give you some examples. Well, Michael Phelps swimming, Aretha Franklin singing, my fave, one of my faves, and also can be, us regular people too. Playing in a band in your garage. For me, I love writing. For me, I love teaching. I'm being on stage. And it's when you lose track of who you are, not in a delusional sense or in a codependent sense. Just there's nowhere else you'd rather be, and no one else you'd rather be. You're in the zone. That's what flow is. So savoring is the precursor to flow. So it combines mindfulness and gratitude, and it's the precursor to being in the zone, joyfully loving life. Okay, so we kind of get away from that whole need to accomplish, because it's just natural, kind of just doing what we want to do. So here's the we have been groomed to accomplish from the beginning, accumulating accolades and trophies and academic certificates and degrees and promotions and partners and social stature. And so that has us sort of becoming a society of human doings rather than human beings. Think about that. We've been so groomed to be human doings. I mean, I think we don't even stop to think about that sometimes. Where our self-worth is showcased by what we have achieved in this life. There's the stuff we frame and put on the wall, and then there's the stuff like, we've got a partner and kids, and square footage is certainly a big one, right? And that kind of thing. So when we stop and savor, we are airlifted out of this, this compulsive need to accomplish and the pressure to conform, to do the everyday thing. Basically, savoring is a break that allows us to just be and enjoy being, and sort of to become aware of our own enoughness, So some helpful tips I have are realize, first of all, that life is not a dress rehearsal. This is the big game as far as anybody knows, right? This is it. And then after that, it's, we're food for daisies and all kinds, at least the body is anyway. And then the second one is make a daily not to-do list. Isn't that crazy? I love that one. When I do, workshops, presentations around the place, if it's a topic that involves self-care, I usually don't use PowerPoints at all teaching, but I do for when I have a big audience. So I'll put a PowerPoint up there that has a picture of a not to-do list, and people look at me like I'm nuts. I mean, we're so big on to-do lists, and think about it. During the day, with everything we have to do in the day, small, medium, and large, there is most definitely something we can scratch off of there, and then we save life minutes for savoring. It's so good. And then 3, I have just say no. Tell yourself that you are exempt from accomplishment for the next hour or even 15 minutes. Like if you're one of those type A's, and start out small. Tell yourself, I'm enough without doing. And you know what? You might kind of laugh and chuckle a little bit about that, but there are a lot of, young adults for sure. I love my young adults, my own young adults, and also my students. And I hear this with my students a lot, and also seasoned grown-ups. There's a lot of like, I am what I do kind of stuff going on. Okay, get out of Dodge. Savorers in training may need to duck out for some alone time, and that's okay. Adult grown-up time out until they become fully confident with closing their eyes and making joyful sound effects in public. I love that. Work to live, not live to work. No matter how much you may like your job, and I love mine. I absolutely love everything. I got my hands in all kinds of soup right now, and I love all of it. Remind yourself that this is why you're working, to savor your kids, to savor the soup you just made, to savor the conversation you had late on the couch with your partner, out in the woods with your golden retriever, with yourself on the back deck in the summer with lemonade. You didn't expect to get that day to yourself, and now you do. And you can become rejuvenated and just sit and take in the atmosphere. Yes. So just remind ourselves that that's why we work, is to have this, to be able to enjoy your life and share it with those you love. And then the sixth one is start with food. If you're kind of a savorer in training because you're used to flying through life like a gerbil on crack, then start with food, because it is very easy, because it involves the senses of smell and taste, and really everything, I guess, unless it's very quiet food, you wouldn't hear it maybe. But it's got the smell, and it's got the texture, and it's got the taste. You can see it, and it might even be making noise like popcorn. So this is a very easy way to learn to savor. Each day, commit to one savor the food moment. Wrap your hands around that warm cup of coffee or hot chocolate, especially right now. Close your eyes and take in the flavorful aroma. Inhale deeply. Focus on that first sip and that rich taste. If you make it like my kids do, and they dump all kinds of chocolate in there, whatever, at the holidays, because chocolates are around in the holidays. If the hot cocoa's not enough, they toss in chocolate. So savor it. Savor the whole experience. 7, let go of time. Like, time's, pretty much an illusion anyway, right? I mean, it's a continuum that we're all on. We were here before we got here, and we'll be here after here. It's kind of like, let go of time. When you were in savor state, when you're in a savoring state, consciously let go of everything else for just a few minutes. It will be all there. It will all be there for you when you re-enter the world as you know it. When you re-enter the world as you know it. Become an active listener. This has to do with savoring people in our lives, right? So savoring those you love depends on your full attention. So many times we're having conversations with people who are the most important to us. Yet we're thinking about what we're going to say next, or where we're going to go next, or what we're going to make for dinner. They might not even know. I think usually we know, because we just can see the vacant eyes, and we're off in a distant land. It's also disrespectful, but you think of it like this. That only what we attenuate to will make it into long-term memory. So if you're with your kids, your partner, your friends, your best friend, your golden retriever, your grandmother, your bestie, from work, whatever, it's not only is it respectful, but that conversation is gonna stay with you, which is super important. And it will work magic in your relationships. You cannot go wrong actively listening. You just can't, because the other person feels valued and cherished and validated and all that good stuff. And number 9, embrace brief phone fasting. Oh, I love this. You don't necessarily need to turn off the crack, okay? Unplug the drug. I suggest you do. For this, but at least for advanced savorers, it says for the entire day. Advanced savorers can do this for the entire day. If you're a total cell phone, like addicted to the crack, then start out with 15 minutes. And I mean totally off. If it's on vibrate, it's on your body, you're going to feel it. Even if you don't answer it or respond or whatever, it's going to take your attention away from whatever you're doing and whoever you're with. It will, because who's that, then it's like FOMO in the head, and it's just bad. Shut it all the way off, throw it in a sock drawer, throw it in your trunk, throw it in a lake, better off, throw it somewhere, and then give that person your undivided attention. Or do not disturb also works. So if you're really addicted to it, try some of these other methods. If you're an advanced saver, just enjoy throwing that thing away for the whole day. And then 10 is create a savoring lifestyle. So if you are doing whatever it is you are doing, you may as well savor it, and for full enjoyment. Just be in with the person with the hot fudge sundae snowshoeing I just did with little G for 2 hours today. Savored every single second of it. Also, all the tree art in it, because it just snowed, and the snow little marshmallows that are all over the evergreens. And oh my God, it was just absolutely beautiful. Plus the sounds that the brook was making kind of underneath the ice. And oh, it's just so great. The next time you are in a hot shower, a delightful bubble bath, savor it. You know, a warm and crackling fire. I got that going right now. I don't know if you can see. Oh yeah, I guess you can. Nice. There's not much more soothing. Well, the hot bath's pretty soothing too, for sure. Not much a hot bath won't fix, actually. A hot bubble bath. And a crackling fire is so snuggly and cozy. Listen to the sounds and just let it mesmerize you. Savor it. Transcend time and feel authentic joy. Savoring is about living deliberately. The other alternative is to live passively. That means we're not even engaged in our lives, and our life minutes are doing like this down a rabbit hole or down a drain or something. These life minutes we have are precious and they're limited. So savor it and live deliberately, because living deliberately is about realizing the value of our life minutes. Spend your life minutes as if they were cash. Savor 2023. This is Kimberly Quinn signing off. Happy New Year.